Welcome everyone back to this very special episode. I have my dear friend Patsy on, and we had a extremely traumatic event happen together. Well, she was in Arizona and I was in Washington State. And this episode, we walked through what happened and then also how energy work helped her. And also what beautiful messages came through from her pet throughout the experience because losing a pet is so hard. Losing a pet traumatically is even harder. And one of the things to remember, especially with animals, is they remember the good times with you and they love to support you. And while we do the best we absolutely can as pet owners, we are given so much grace. Welcome to this episode. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I have a very special guest with me today. I have my friend Patsy, and Patsy is someone who I met through work this is about 7+ years ago now. I'm not sure quite how long it's been. And I had set an intention that I'd meet the right person for the specific need that I had. And poof, you came into my life just like that. And right away, I would say we hit it off. We were kind of like soul sisters. And you've always been so grounded, honest. I'm gonna say authentic. I think that word's a little bit overused. But you have always just done such immaculate work. And then I got to know you personally, and we reconnected at kind of the beginning of this year, was it? Because you had moved, and so
Yeah. We did that special session together, setting the intention for the year.
that's right. That's right. So you have quite the story. You have quite the history. And I'm going to have you back on another podcast to talk about some of those things and the journey that you've been on. But we're here today because there was an experience you had about a week and a half ago that I happened to be present for, and it's been quite a journey. And you wanted to share with people your story, and you and I both believe that there's some really powerful messages here for other people. So, welcome, my dear friend Patsy.
Oh, thank you, Emily. I'm just so incredibly grateful for you, and it's just been such a honor and a joy to be alongside you on this journey we call life. And
Yeah.
yes, there was a situation that happened, and I really feel strongly that the world needs to know of what happened,
Yeah.
and just I just want the world to know.
Yeah. So, we're going to get into the story right away. And I just want to let people know that there are animals involved, and
Yeah.
that's this is one of the most tender places on my heart is animals. It always has been, it always will be, all types of animals. So let's go back to that day a couple of weeks ago. You and I are on our morning walks, and you
Yeah.
have your sweet, adorable, and by the way, you and I are in different states. And we're chatting, we're digesting the energy, our intentions for the day, what we've been up to for work. And you are holding your beautiful, sweet dog Luna in your arms when, mid conversation, mid sentence, she's ripped out of your arms by a neighbor dog and brutally attacked.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation. What's so interesting about that morning is I did something different. I I walked a little bit farther than I normally do,
Hmm.
and because the weather is changing here. And so on the way back, I decided to pick up my little dog Luna. She's a 12-pound, 10-year-old little rescued Chihuahua that I have, and I've had her for the 10 years.
Hmm.
Maybe she's 11, not quite sure. And I decided to carry her the rest of the way because I just didn't want her little paws to get warm on the pavement. I figured she needed a break. And I'm just walking along, talking to you, setting the intentions for the day. And all of a sudden, I didn't even see it happen. There was just Luna wasn't in my arms anymore. And I look and she is fighting for her life.
Hmm.
The impact of the grabbing it out of my arms was so violent that her
Yeah.
collar and harness came off.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, you had to witness the whole thing of
Yeah.
me screaming and running.
Yeah, that part was really interesting because, and by the way, Patsy and I, we're not gonna like sugarcoat any of this or pull any punches or give you guys this light version of things. The bigger message, and there's a lot of messages in what we're going to talk about today. One of the biggest ones is that we bring in intuitive work and spiritual blessings because of the challenging human experiences that we have, and because we want to create beautiful lives for ourselves. So, in this moment, all of a sudden, I just hear you scream bloody murder. And I want people to imagine it's a beautiful, bright, sunny morning. I was having a lovely morning. I care deeply about Patsy and her dog. And just like you, my adrenaline shoots through the roof. I wasn't sure if you were being attacked at first, if you were hit, if it was her. And I stayed on the phone. I'm not sure how long. It was at least 3 minutes throughout the entire thing. And I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not. I really couldn't tell you. But as a human, I'm not, I'm loyal. And I was like, I'm at least gonna be here. I'm gonna hold my light. I'm gonna say prayers. I'm gonna get on my phone and start. I'm like, who do I know? Who knows Patsy in the area? And after a number of minutes and hearing the treachery that happened, I texted you and I said, I heard everything. I said, I'm going to hang up and I'm holding the light, whatever it is I said for you. And then my adrenaline was rocked. And I immediately went into inner light work and EFT tapping work to start to move the shock and the trauma that I had just witnessed from myself, which worked. But more importantly, let's continue how the rest of the day and the week went.
So I have to tell you, watching my little 10-pound chihuahua run and fight and bark and scream at this other dog was like a dream. I couldn't even, I thought that I was watching her become murdered. I mean, that's how it
Right,
felt. And I
right,
was
right.
screaming and running, and neighbors started to come out.
Hmm.
My aunt and uncle heard, they came out. Um, I'm not quite sure how farther along the story you want me to go.
Yeah,
Um,
so I think so we'll kind of button this part up and then we can talk about the energetic side of things too, because so obviously you took Luna to the emergency vet. She was tended to. You had a full loving week with her before you had to put her down. And
yes.
right. So the let's talk about what you were experiencing, what came through in our mini sessions, and what you felt and how you sort of worked through that. Because what you shared yesterday is how you feel, of course, there's grief that your girl is gone. And at the same time, there's a sense of what would you say?
Peace. I'm at peace. And the reason why is I'm at peace and I'm not curled up in a corner right now, sobbing my eyes out and eating gallons of ice cream is the fact that I was grateful and grateful and blessed enough to have you and you use your gift. And I would love to share that part of the story. Um,
Yeah.
so the next, 7 days, morning, noon, and night, I'm, you know, taking care of my little girl. She can barely walk. She is in a lot of pain. I don't want to go into too gory details, but
Mm-mm.
she had four drains on her. So, I was very careful in how I moved her. It was a thing. So I had everything down to a routine, and
Mm-hmm.
she's wagging her tail, she's eating from my hand basically, and taking her meds like a champ, and her
Mm-hmm.
spirit was high, and
Mm-hmm.
we were just living in the moment and going day by day, and every day
Right.
I would talk to you and give you updates, and I remember one day I said, Emily, can you tap into Luna and, see how she's feeling? And you did. And the message that was received was give it more time.
Hmm.
And the message that I received was 3 more days. And
Hmm.
so that gave me hope. And we continued to I continued to love on her and her love on me. And just we had those
Yeah.
special moments and times together.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I think one of the things that's important to note is throughout this journey, to your point, you're like, I could have been, I mean, that would be me. It'd be traumatizing. I'd be in a corner bawling my eyes out too. And what you did is you reached out for help. You reached out for assistance. You do not ask, you provide intuitive messages yourself. You were not asking me every single moment of every single day for guided messages. There came a point you're like, I'm kind of at a point where I just really need this. And I remember I was pulling into the gas station. I was like, sure. So the other thing that so that's an important thing to note for all of us when we're going through these challenging times. We've got to it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to ask people for help, to kind of feel like we might be overextending our reach, right? We don't want to you know, use people or whatever, but you weren't doing that at all. So you asked for help. Also, I thought it was really interesting the guides didn't give you the exact answer yet, or I would say they didn't give us the exact answer. And for me, Luna actually received energy healing support, but you and I don't know what it is that she needed exactly in that moment. So she
Yeah.
received exactly what it is that she needed. So it gets to the point where you realize you have to put her down, and you were on the phone, or we are on the phone, and I told you that I got a huge validating yes for that. And I actually don't remember the messages that came through at that point, because sometimes, folks, when you're practicing holding light, when the messages aren't for you, they're like in one ear, out the other. You're just sharing them and they go. But you called me a day or two later and you're like, people need to know that they don't have to hold on to the guilt or the grief. I mean, of course, there's still grief, but they don't have to hold on to these deeper emotions, that there's a way to heal through your pet's crossing.
100%. 100%. Um, yeah, when I reached out to you, and I want to also say, there is no shame in asking for help. It's so important that
No.
we realize that we're not alone in this world.
Yeah.
And we all have gifts to support each other in this journey. And I am very familiar with your gift, Emily, and I had done as much as I could energetically with my little dog and the situation, and I needed help. And I was
Yeah.
just ask for help. And so the day that I we got clarity on what to do and that Luna was ready to pass over, I knew deep down in my heart, but as I love this little animal with my whole heart, she has been nothing but a joy and a blessing in my life. And as a human, my ego, I did not want to say goodbye to her because she has been such a comfort to me. And
Of course.
but I also don't want to be that selfish person and put my needs outside of hers. So I
Mm.
really needed support to have clarity on what Luna needed. And so
Yeah.
when I asked you that day, and you were just like 100% she's ready. And then I just had this feeling of comfort and peace.
Hmm.
And so I made arrangements, and it was interesting that morning. She acted a little bit differently, but she just kept staring at me. It's like she was letting me know it's okay.
Yeah.
And then we went to the vet. And so the whole situation there is I knew the right thing to do for her because I had such clarity from your gift. And it was a beautiful experience.
Mm.
It was a beautiful experience. And, now here I am 2 days later, and I know that that was the right thing to do for her. And, me realizing that there's so many other people out here who are struggling and going through with what I went through, that I am just like, I want to shout it to the mountaintops of what the support that I got from you did for me. Like I literally would not be sitting here talking to you
Mhm.
with makeup, sitting here. I'm not bawling. I'm in
Right.
gratitude.
Yeah.
So in my grief, I'm already in gratitude for her
Yeah.
knowing the right thing to do. And people don't realize that, this is a legit gift that you have and you're able to connect. And we can connect too, but we need help with this when it comes to times of distress and trauma and grief. We can't think straight. So having
Of
you
course.
walking along beside me in this during this horrific, horrible time, I see the beauty of it already. And,
Mm.
this is right here in front of us, this help, this support. And more people need to know about this so that we don't suffer and our past loved animals don't want us to suffer. They don't want that.
No.
And
No.
she doesn't want me to live in thinking, did I do the right thing? Was it too soon? She doesn't want me to go along with my life doing that. So
No.
I'm just so passionate about my experience. And I just want the world to know that you don't have to suffer alone and you don't have to sit at home and wonder the what ifs. I'm sitting in gratitude today.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story because the other piece of all of this, when we're going through active trauma or active grief or a highly emotional situation, we all need help and support. I mean, if the situation were reversed, I would have needed support and help. Like it's I mean, I'm human. I'm human. And so it's just a very real thing. And you keep using this lovely, lovely term gift, 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 gift. And what I would say to anyone listening is I know for a fact that energy work is a skill set we each develop our own unique way. And one of the ways I have always felt resistance to, which, hello, this is why I'm now opening this up and we're having this conversation, because when you're holding the light for someone, you actually have to remain in this beautifully neutral place. And I don't mean neutral like you don't care or ambivalent, neutral in love. And you have to hold this love and light so that the person can implode, let's just say, so that the person can break down, so that the person can be in their emotions. And you're holding the light so that that processes for them. And you still have compassion and you still have empathy, but you have strength and you have boundaries. And then you deliver messages that, you know, the messages from both of your dogs, because you've had to put down both of your dogs this year, which, my goodness, both of them came through with such beautiful messages for you. The timing was meant to be in the weirdest, roughest way on your journey. And the fact that both of them, as they've come through and as Luna came through, one of the key pieces here is for pets and how they cross over. To them, it's not as, I don't know if the word is, I would say like significant as it is for us. And also, it is such a messed up thing to be the person to choose when to put your pet down. I mean, it's
Oh,
so unnatural. And there's so
yeah.
many emotions with that. So many emotions
Yeah.
with that. And because I've been with many, many people through this exact process, my parents had a dog a long time ago where we would joke it was their favorite kid above my brother and I.
Yeah.
And, through the process of putting her down and everything. So, these have been highly emotionally charged situations, and time and again, the animal, they actually, when they go to the other side, they're there fairly quickly. They're immediately loving back on you. They've got messages to help move you forward. They do not look at the timing. The timing of things is like, whatever. Oh, whether it was a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, that's irregardless to them. And um, animals are so wise and they bring forth so much wisdom, yet the process of their journey and what they mean for us packs such an emotional punch.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, thank you. Thank you for trusting me, by the way, because we're friends. Like it's not like I do a lot of energy work for you either. So it always means a lot when I get these referrals from, friends and family and whatnot, because to me it is such a sacred thing to get to hold the light for someone and do this work.
Yeah, this experience has been absolutely amazing, if that's the right word.
Mm,
Um, it's so I am obviously telling people what happened to little Luna and then, what happened on Wednesday and just the piece and people are staring at me. I went to a women's networking event yesterday evening and I told a couple of people there, what had happened and they looked at me in shock and disbelief that I wasn't standing there in my robe, that I was
mm-hmm,
actually there.
mm-hmm,
I was
mm-hmm.
present. I was acting normal emotionally. I wasn't, and they were just surprised. And I just shared, the story of how I had asked you for help in that area. And oh my goodness, they were just like, who is Emily? Maybe does she work with people that live in different states? Can she help us? I'm like, absolutely, absolutely. And then that I was just like, Emily, can we please share this story to the masses because I want people to realize that they don't have to do that alone, what I went through and what
Yeah.
Luna went through because she experienced the support energetically as well as I did.
Right, right.
And I just can't say it enough that, we had a beautiful last, few days together, even down to her last hour. And I
Mm,
was strong enough to sit there and pet her little nose and kiss her
mm,
as she's looking at me and I'm thanking her for all of the love and support and joy that she gave me and how what a great job she did of taking care of my other little dog Matt who had severe anxiety and she would take care of him when I wouldn't be home and
yeah.
I was able to tell her without some emotional craziness, go find your brother, go find your
Yeah.
brother and go meet him and give him my love. And it was such a beautiful experience. And of course, I was emotional but it wasn't like some dramatic thing that could have happened. Knowing
Right.
that it was the right thing for her and it was the
Yeah.
right thing for me. And it's a, and now I want to just share the experience so that other people could have that support when they um, unfortunately may need to go through that as well. But you can go through
Right.
it in a lot more positive experience and be able to have that moment that I had with her at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. As someone who was experiencing this in real time with you, you had many dark hours and you had a lot of grief and you had but you made choices on how you were going to, like, you were following your gut, you were transmuting that energy when it felt right for you. So I think we can be in those places where we just, collapse into our bed and let it all out and really release it. And then there's times where it's like, okay, and both of your pets had such beautiful guiding messages for you on this next chapter of your life too. And that's the other thing that I witness time and again is our pets really do hold these beautiful messages. I don't want to say lessons, like that sounds like challenges, but they hold these experiences for us, this growth for us too, and this love. So, yeah, so thank you.
On a funny note, think about it. Our pets know us better than anybody else. Like they see us in the morning when our hair is sticking up everywhere, and they see us,
Touche.
crying. They see us crying. They see us laughing. They see us at our worst and our best. And so, those precious souls are so precious. And me and you together, we're able to create, a positive experience for her crossing over. And
Yeah.
to me, that's the least I can do for her.
Yeah.
The least I can do for that sweet little thing is to make her passing as less stressful and as beautiful as possible. So thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
for holding that space for us and for her.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she was very quickly on the other side, wagging her tail, relaxed, like curled up, standing, curled up, standing. So she was definitely letting you know. And I don't know how much of that we talked about. I think I texted you that she was wagging her tail, but you and I are going to do another mini session here when it feels right, maybe in a week or two, and just
Yeah.
so you can reconnect with her again and have a little chat and just, have that in your heart moving forward. And but you're already communicating with her. Like, let's make that really clear. You're seeing her in your dreams and you're feeling her and you have your own sense of communication with her already as well.
Yes, and I have to say back to you did not tell me about her standing up and sitting down, and all you said was her wagging her tail. But what's so interesting is that you just shared that with me is it was very hard for her to sit, and so I had to do it for her. So the
Mm,
fact that she immediately was sitting and standing, that says a lot. She felt the freedom of being out of her physical body because when she was here, those last 8 days, she was not able to do that. So
yeah.
that's beautiful that we just shared that.
Yeah. You're such an amazing animal mom, dog mom. One of the other things that Spirit came through with when you and I were chatting is how, y- as humans, we think the number of years is what matters in a life. Now, I don't, maybe I'll become evolved enough to change that belief, but spirits, like, especially animals, like they come through for specific segments of our journey. And the power is in that time we have with them. So, regardless of number of years. So I do have much to your willingness to share this episode. I've actually opened up pet sessions now, and they are available on my Instagram and on my website, and they're up there. They are 30 minutes, and I'm just really excited to help more people feel good that their pets are getting what they need, that they don't need to, that the parents don't need to hold on to the guilt or the grief, or, and then there's other people who are just going to want a session with their pets and they're going to want to connect deeper with them or see what messages come through. And I will tell you, here's the thing about animals. They're not going to sugarcoat things for you. So,
They know us better than anybody else.
preach, preach. And to be fair, I've had people communicate with my pets and it's the same thing. I'm like, oh, straight to it, straight to it.
Yeah.
So, one of the other things about you, Patsy, is that you are a coach for women, a very powerful coach, one who uses her intuition, uses her health and wellness certifications and vast experience in life, especially when it comes to helping women restore balance within themselves. You are an anti-shame weight loss coach, a life coach, and we have had some very powerful conversations in our friendship that have really, I've told you, have actually shifted me and changed me. So thank you for that. So if someone feels called to look up your work or follow along, where can they find you?
Oh, thank you, Emily. It's been an honor and a joy to be your friend.
Same.
We are soul sisters. We help each other out in so many ways. You've helped me more than I can share right now. We don't have a lot of time, right? I'm kidding. But so the easiest way to find me is on Instagram. So
Mm-hmm.
I am Patsy James, fit over 50. So that's where you can
Beautiful.
find me. Yeah.
Beautiful. And one of the things too about friendship, because one of my passions is distilling this idea of what an energy practitioner is. I think that they're still a little tiny bit on a pedestal in our modern society, kind of like we might put a priest on a pedestal or a rabbi or whatever. And one of the things when like me as a friend, I've got a very tight inner circle. I am very direct. I'm very direct. I'm very loving, funny. And what I love about you is we can go toe to toe on anything. We'll disagree on things. We have each other's back. You're honest with me. I'm honest with you. We laugh and giggle our way through life. We mess up. We figure it out. I mean, my heart is just so appreciative of you because you're the real deal. And it's having that type of relationship is a lot. It's a lot, and it's not the easiest thing, but well, I mean, I think it's easy, but it's also really rewarding.
Very rewarding. Yeah, I look forward to our conversations, and I've leaned on you more than you probably know. And so I really appreciate you. And this is a very special friendship that we have. And my goal, if that's the right word, or what I'm hoping to come of Luna's passing is that other people hear her story, Luna's story, and how she passed, and how we were able to guide her and do what was best for her with me, her human, not not having so much trauma with it and able to move on. So if one person hears this and reaches out to you for support, then Luna and I can do a happy dance energetically, because that's what it's all about, is supporting our pets who are our everythings
Hmm.
and helping them pass at the right time. And it's all for the greater good. And if just one person reaches out, and I look forward to that when you're able to say, Patsy, Luna's legacy is moving forward, and all she wants is for other animals and their humans to have the same experience that her and I did. So I just got goosebumps. That is her wish, and she's jumping around right now saying yes. So that's just my wish for her legacy, is to have other pets and other humans have a very positive and peaceful, comforting experience as they pass over. So
And they will. Thank you. Thank you. What a journey it has been. I am excited for more people to hear about this work, also hear about your work. Thank you so much again.
thank you so much.
Bye. It has been so great to connect here. If this episode resonated with you, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who you want to have more of these chats with. And as you move throughout your day, remember, your energy is your superpower. As you pay attention to it and trust it, you can watch your entire life begin to transform.